we had a case where someone was run over by a lifeguard. So there was a lot of negative things that occurred.
Was Mr. Snipes involved in any of that?
He was not, and I stated that.
Do you have a copy of your termination letter?
Yes, I do.
It's dated August 9, 2013.
Yes, I have.
Any objection to this? Thanks a lot, thank you. And how did you give to Pam, right? Right, well, that's what it is. Okay. Okay, sir, you're looking at the document you generated dated August 9, 2013.
Yes.
Okay. It articulates 4 violations that you believe Mr. Snipes committed. Is that correct?
I might count it. I mean, yeah. I mean, overall, yes. 4. There's some subsections to them. Yes.
And I want to go below that because you've already testified in great detail about the violations that you feel you committed. Let's go to page 3, top of the page. You wrote, I cannot allow your current actions to undermine the credibility that the Division of Beach Safety Ocean Rescue has worked so very hard to regain. How did you come up with that opinion? That the public has regained its trust in the Beach Safety Ocean Rescue?
Well, actually, it doesn't say that. What it says is they worked very hard to regain it. I don't know if they regained it or not. We're still in that process.
Then you wrote the cartoons you text to colleagues, the comments you wrote regarding other texts sent to you, and the Facebook posting permanently impaired your ability to effectively perform your duties with the general public and go so far and cast doubt upon your ability to lead others. You stand by that?
I do.
Okay, but I asked you earlier, gave you a hypothetical, if Mr. Snipes was patrolling the beach and he saw somebody from a minority,
Yep.
would he?
Sure he would.
He would save that person, wouldn't he?
Sure. That's only one duty out of many that he has.
Okay, how can he not lead men? Let me ask you this, sir. With respect to his ability to lead the department, how many African Americans are employed by the Beach Patrol right now?
I don't know, because our population is flexible, especially this time of year. We probably don't have a fraction of what we normally would have.
You don't know?
I don't.
Do you have knowledge of who might know? I mean, you do the hiring and the firing.
I don't do the hiring and firing. I don't do the hiring, let's just say, on that level. I don't know that. Mr. Rhodes might be. Mr. Rhodes might have the statistics. We do have minority hiring now.
Well, I'm asking you on Beach Patrol.
As far as on the actual staff itself of the law enforcement officers, I don't believe we have any.
You have none. Is that how do you think that reflects upon minorities in this community that our Beach Patrol department doesn't employ any minorities?
I'm going to object to the relevance of this. It's got no relevance to the facts in this case and the issues that are before you.
I respectfully disagree. This has to do with the charges that have been put in page 3 of Mr. Reckenwald's report.
I won't speak for Mr. Reckenwald, but I believe he's talking primarily about members of the public, minority members of the public, as well as others, not necessarily minorities, others subordinates that work for him in his ability to meet those people, not necessarily one of those people.
Now she's just testifying.
Well, we constantly recruit for minorities all the time, and we follow, and in fact, we, even this particular year, we go to the Thune Cookman, we go to the disadvantaged areas of Daytona Beach. We're even looking at instituting some sort of a scholarship program. And we're aware of the fact that it's difficult to find minorities. We have minorities. We don't have any, I know we have Hispanics, we have women which are protected class, so, we're aware and we work on it.
Did you review Captain Vance's internal investigation, and did that contribute to your decision to terminate Mr. Snipes?
Yes.
Did you have any conversations with Captain Vance about his internal investigation that aren't documented in Captain Vance's report?
Conversations, no, I think I'm trying to think, he usually brings it by and drops it off, but I don't remember there being any conversation.
Do you know who Scott Dowling is?
I know who he is.
Do you know whether Scott Dowling was the initial informant who brought the text to the attention of Mr. Swanson?
I've been told that.
You don't have personal knowledge?
I don't have personal
Do you have
knowledge.
any reason to doubt the authenticity of that?
No.
Okay. Do you know who Scott Dowling is?
He's a retired beach patrol. He was I think he was I don't know what his exact rank was, but I believe he retired as a law enforcement. He was triple certified.
Do you have any knowledge of why he retired?
No.
Okay. Do you know whether or not Mr. Dowling had ever been disciplined for making racially insensitive remarks while employed?
I do not know that.
Okay. How many employees, other than what you, and I'm not sure if you testified to this or not, I'm trying not to repeat what you were asked. You testified as to employees who had been disciplined, to your knowledge, for making racially insensitive remarks, is that correct?
I testified.
Isn't that what he
I
testified to?
asked him about
Yeah.
whether he had disciplined any employees
Right.
during his career.
Just for the ethnic remarks?
Just for the, just
Okay.
personal.
You didn't ask about social media, though. I'm trying not to repeat this. I know we got, time's getting.
You can ask.
Okay, well, I'm trying to. Okay. Are you aware of any county employees that have been terminated for social media violations?
No.
Are you aware of any employees who have been accused of social media violations?
Other than Mr. Snipes, no.
Okay. Sunshine Law was responsible.
No, I understand what I'm saying is he hasn't worked long.
Let's see if we got some mic. We don't. Mr. Reckwell, I'm going to show you the document here. Please take a look at that.
It's a memorandum, Janice Riker off.
Placing an objection on the record because the document not authored by him or regarding anyone in his chain, in his supervision from the IT department was provided as part of the health department, from that personnel department. So this witness has no knowledge whatsoever about this.
Well, she's testifying as to what his knowledge is.
No, I mean, you can ask him if he knows about it. I don't want him to
I'd like
use the
to.
record because it's not.
Well, it's relevant as to whether or not punishment has been even handed here.
If you can tie it to what we're here for.
I'm sorry, sir.
If you can tie it to the reason we're here.
Absolutely, going to. Can you take a look at that document, sir? What is that document to the best of your knowledge?
This is a notice of written reprimand.
For what?
Says for violating the county's social media policy.
Okay, is that a Volusia County generated document?
Appears to be.
And was that employee of Volusia County terminated for violating the social media policy?
Objection, I don't know if this witness knows, I mean, he can say what he just looked at, but whether or not that employee's been terminated, I don't think it's correct on now.
Just read the document.
Doesn't appear, it says a notice of written reprimand
So Volusia County employee, what date was that, sir?
on July 30th, 2013.
Okay, so about 3 months ago. Thank you, sir. An employee of the county was charged with social media violation.
Objection, Mr. Ross testifying.
I'm trying to ask a question. I can see it's a sensitive area here.
It's not sensitive, it's not proper. And this is not the proper witness, it's a racist.
Well, why is it not
Is there another point you want to make about this? I mean,
Yes, that there hasn't been even-handed discipline. That one social media violation got a written reprimand, another social media violation was terminated.
okay, when we consider different outcomes to different violations, we can't even investigate that whole thing. We don't want to go into the background and find out what's decided that way, but I think your point has been taken. Very much given a valid violation valid, not
You testified that taken as a whole, based on sort of the events surrounding the Seminole County trial, Trayvon Martin, that contributed to your decision?
Yes.
Okay, so can you look at page 2 of your report? Where in the rules that you allege Mr. Snipes violated says that things that he posts on a private Facebook page, he must be cautious of in light of all public events?
Whenever we look at any of these things, again, you got to take it out of context. Well, you can put it in context. It does not say that because I had no way, or no one in the county government had a way to write a rule that says after a controversial racially charged verdict, you'll behave better. So we obviously can't, make a rule for everything like that.
Well, I know what I'm trying to say. If he's going to be accused of that and that's going to contribute to your decision, he has to be accused of violating some rule.
Yes.
And it sounds like the factors that you considered don't necessarily apply to what you accused him of violating.
I'm not following you on that.
Okay, so for instance, under 1B, Volusia County Beach Safety Division Departmental Standards, Directives, Standards of Conduct, derogatory ethnic remarks, it says employees shall not make derogatory remarks concerning race, sex, religion, or international origin of any person. That's the policy.
Yeah.
You're claiming Mr. Snipes violated that policy
Yes.
by posting LOL?
No, by posting a picture with a word on there that's racially offensive.
Okay. All right, so. Is this what you're speaking of, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And this is what, this violated, now are these his words?
Yes, because he takes ownership of them when he puts them out there.
He takes ownership of
Sure, he posts that picture that has that on there. He did that. He admits he did that. I didn't think anyone actually drew the thing out or anything. He obviously found it somewhere and he put it up there.
Okay, well, let's talk about that, because that's kind of been talked about with a few witnesses here today. You weren't here, you weren't privy to their testimony, I don't think. But when you say put it out there, What do you mean, put it out there?
He posted it to his group.
Okay, so what he did was he sent that cartoon. Whether, and we're not gonna talk about whether you think the word is inappropriate or not. He sent that to 9 people
Right.
who he thought were his friends.
Right.
He didn't post it in a public forum.
I don't know at what point, what number starts defining public,
Well, he didn't post it in a place where
but he posted it to other employees,
he sent it to 3 friends of his who were current employees.
along with others.
Were those 3 employees offended by the remarks?
I don't know.
Did those 3 employees give sworn statements that you reviewed?
Yeah, they did.
Did you review those?
Yeah. I just
Did
don't
anyone
know.
say they were offended and thought it was racist?
Trying to think, I think at least once somebody said that they thought it was inappropriate. I don't know if anyone defined it as racist.
Because that's really what we're talking about here, ethnic disparagement. Ethnic remarks.
Yeah, but what we're talking about is it got out of the 9. See, that's where I think the whole social media policy came into effect. I mean, you know, it wasn't just 9. It was 9 plus, when it went out to the media, it became 9 plus everybody.
But so then but we know Mr. Snipes did send it to the media. In fact, so it was someone else. So now we want to punish Mr. Snipes here, terminate Mr. Snipes for the behavior of other people and taking it to the media?
Well, that's why we told,
How's that?
well, that's why we had the policy, to warn them that, you know, we saw these things coming, you know, that when you do this, when you put it out there, especially in this new electronic age, it never goes, I think it says it in the policy, it's assumed to be kept forever, so it's out there. And that was, I think, the point in trying to put the policy forward.
Right, but
One of the points.
you're accusing Mr. Snipes of doing something that someone else took to the media. He didn't post it, he didn't make it available to people. Someone else did. And we don't even know who that is. I mean, I think almost every
He made it
witness has been
available to
asked.
our employees, to his subordinate, in at least one case. I mean, that's the equivalent today, putting it up on a bulletin board in the lunchroom. or
How so?
something. Or in his office, say there's only a few of those, say those 3 people are only coming in the office, and he puts it on the bulletin board in there. I mean, he involved them by putting it out there, by posting it to that group that included our employees.
And that's violating the county policy?
Yes, it's making a derogatory remark to our employees.
Where does it say that? Where does it say he can't make a derogatory remark to employees?
It says, employees shall not make derogatory remarks.
It doesn't say that he can't make he doesn't say he can't send a cartoon of Paula Dean to, or you know, make
Well, that's
derogatory
better yet.
remarks to subordinates.
Well, that's better yet. He just can't make them.
But when you say he put it out there, I mean, we have to be very careful here, because there's a significant difference there in terms of whether he put it out there for public viewing or whether someone else did. Mr. Snipes didn't put the 2 texts that we know he sent, he didn't put those out for public viewing or any LOL comments. Those were made to a specific thread of 9 people. And then we know Scott Dowling subsequently took the matter to the county. So he didn't put it out there.
I disagree. I mean, I think he knows that, there's potential for those people to send it on to somebody else.
So any county employee can be punished for the actions of other people.
Any county employee, I think, is responsible for the content of what they put out there in these forums. I mean, as far as where it lands, I'm not so sure, but You know, that's what the policy, that's what we're saying is.
Can I have a minute, please? That's all I have at this moment, subject to redirect.
Regarding the last line of questioning, that Mr. Snipes didn't notify the media, we don't know who notified the media about this. But if he has never started that group text message with a picture called in an inappropriate word, then we wouldn't be here today. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's correct.
So in effect, he did, is that what you mean by he put it out there?
He started the conversation.
You've been asked about specific pictures and specific words. Is it any one single thing that was in that text thread, or was it the context of the entire conversation on the group text message?
Yes, I mean, you know, exactly that. I mean, you know, you can take a look, and there's some specific stuff, and then there's the context of the whole conversation that he had. And of course, that's the text, and then the day before, of course, there was the Facebook posting, even the day before. Excuse me.
You were asked early on whether or not Mr. Snipes' file had any indications of poor judgment. Well, this is an indication. This is an indication of poor judgment, isn't it?
That's what I stated. I think this is a very, up till now, he hasn't, but now he has. Poor judgment.
And whether or not he's a racist, or there's any evidence of him being a racist in the last 24 years, isn't it more the perception that you're concerned about going forward?
Exactly.
In other words, you were asked, did you have any doubt, or did you think he would save a minority that might be trying to drown? You said you thought he would.
He would.
But what if he wasn't able to, through no fault of his own? Do you have concerns about that?
Exactly. What if the person, we do lose people, they don't all make it, and they drown, and would someone say maybe he didn't go hard enough or fast enough? Well, that's the problem.
And that is because of what he did, correct?
Right. Exactly.
So does it matter to you whether or not he's really a racist in terms of you trying to do the job of this organization and protect the county?
Well, it matters, I mean, to the extent, I mean, no one, well, then, you know, then we certainly have a,
I guess the way I should have worded that was, did you need that fact proven to you in
No.
order to feel that you needed to take?
no, I didn't.
Why is that?
Because it's the act. It's the act of what happened and the effect of that act. You know, as far as what's going on in his mind, I just didn't need to know that. I just needed to know that he did it. And that, you know, now we've got the consequences, you know, of what happened.
You brought up the issue of progressive discipline, and I know the board's familiar with the merit rule that deals with progressive discipline. As an appointing authority, are you aware of the merit rule that deals with cases in which progressive discipline may not be appropriate?
Yeah, I know there's that section. I know.
Right, that's what I'm asking. You know that there are offenses for which progressive discipline is determined by you, the appointing authority, not to be appropriate.
Yes.
And is this one of those cases that you felt progressive discipline was not appropriate due to the seriousness of the
That's
violation?
correct. I just didn't think there was, I mean, there's no doubt, I mean, like you said, he did it, and I know that he's sorry that he did it. So progressing to teach him what? You know, I mean, the action's done, and now the damage is done, and the perception's out there.
Part of your job is to look out for the best interests of the county and the county taxpayers.
Yes,
Is that a concern for you in this case?
yes.
Why?
Because again, you know, first of all, we have a misperception out there that we're not handling this. You know, we've lost trust in our citizenry, and then of course it even can get into eventually possibility of liability. You know, I mean, they're out there, they're handling dangerous situations, someone gets hurt, you know, we would be called into question if he's involved in it. It might be as a department or division, but especially if, you know, if he's involved in it, sure they will bring that into play.
For clarification, you were asked about the violations on the second page there, and I think Mr. Harr said there were 4. In actually, there's, when you mentioned subsections, did you include the violation of the social media policy, which is listed there as well? I mean, it says you
Yes.
also violated.
Right.
And you were asked questions about a case from another department and with regards to violation of that policy. Was Mr. Snipes fired solely because he violated the social media policy?
No.
That's all.
Mr. Hart, further questions?
The redirect, Mr. Rickmore. Ms. Jones asked you if your decision was based on what's best for the county. And I understand that's what you testified to. Sir?
Yes.
Do you know how many rescues my client has made in the county?
It's a large number.
That's a large number, sir. That's purely subjective.
Well, to answer your question, no, I don't.
Hundreds.
Objection to Mr. Hart testifying.
Which you've done for the last hour. How about the rest that he's made?
I do not know the answer.
Has his position been, has he been replaced by someone?
He can't be replaced until the disposition of this takes place.
How often does the county find someone to take the role of captain, which is Mr. Snipes was his position, that has made that many rescues? I mean, does that sort of, I mean, you've talked about already how difficult it is just to hire minorities and how the county's trying to make efforts to do so. How easy do you
I
think
don't
it is?
dispute that he's gonna, and I think I testified to that. Well, I'll say he's a good, very good employee.
Well, what I'm trying to say is what's best for the county, pulling him off of beach patrol so that he can be there to continue working with his record of 24 years, the amount of people he has saved. I mean, this man has literally saved hundreds of lives.
I'm going to object to Mr. Hart testifying.
She asked about
And it's
this.
beyond the scope of redirect.
She absolutely asked him
Didn't
about
ask me
this.
questions.
If I could ask you directly comments.
I'm objecting to Mr. Hart testifying on the number of rescues. Mr. Reckmald said he didn't know the number. That should be the end of that.
Well,
He said
Unless
he
his
did what's best
client,
for the
his
county.
client can testify about it.
you are forming your statement on this question. So I feel like there's a question coming.
There is. I just get interrupted every
Shut it
time.
up a little bit, please.
Okay. What we're talking about here is what's best for the county. How easy is it going to be for the county to replace Mr. Snipes, assuming he no longer remains employed? Because right now he's not employed, correct? He's not serving the citizens' revolution. How easy is it going to be to replace him?
Until I know the pool of other employees that are out there, I don't know. We might have someone right underneath them that's just ready to go and replace. It was definitely considered, as I stated, and I'll state again, you know, and in fact, I know you brought that very statement up when we met. And you know, it's what made the decision very difficult. Like I told you, this is not something that was an easy thing at all. It weighed very heavily on me.
Nothing further?
Any questions from the board? Thank you. Good time for a little bit break.
I am probably going to be ready to rest when you come back. I was going to ask you to take just a 5-minute break so I can make sure I have all my exhibits in and that there's no one else